Okay, so I've shot a video tour of my garage before. I mentioned during that tour that everything in my shop is on wheels, and there's a good reason for that. And that's because all of my noise-making equipment is in here in the soundproof room because I'm in a residential neighborhood. So I'm going to open the door, and you'll see that there is not much room in here to do anything, never mind maintain the machine or anything else. This machine is on wheels also, so I can pull it out. Now the trick is navigating through this small area and getting the machine out so you can work on it. Well, you might ask, well, how do I do that? Well, the key to that whole thing is that this wall here on the left moves. So I'm going to move that out of the way, and then I'll swing it open, and you'll see that it opens up the whole garage. Basically, it's like a gate. I just used gate hardware. Some gate hardware, and now I can basically roll everything into the center of the garage. So I'm going to do that. I'll roll this thing out. And so I can move this across the shop. Put it all the way over here. See, so now it opens up a large area for me to get the machines out. Everything's pretty much precisely located. I even have marks on the floor where it all goes back because I don't have much room to fit anything. But then you see I can slide that across there. So I'm going to move a couple of small items and then I'll turn the video back on. Okay, so I moved the garbage can and the mats out of the way, and I've got a pretty clear open spot now here. Next thing is the welder. So I'll pull that out, and you see that there's really not much room even here to clear this. Everything kind of hits, so I've got to be real careful getting it out and park it over right next to the, because there's much more equipment to come out. All right, starting to open this up. Now pretty much everything is out of the way here except my kind of magnetic vise table. You see I've made a magnetic vise table out of a magnetic vise, and I use that when I'm grinding and welding because I can just use the magnet to clamp the stuff down. It's on the turntable, so I can spin it around, maneuver it as I need. But this whole thing is on a trailer hitch, so basically I just use my hoist, which I'll grab out of here now, and then I'll hook this up. So again, let me get this hooked up and out of the way, and I'll continue the video. Okay, so I've got the table hooked up to my hoist right here, and you can see that this is on a trailer hitch receiver, so it's pretty easy to just pull out, and then you can just hoist it out of the way and shove it back into the corner so it's out of my way. This is probably the hardest part of the whole thing because I got to move that. Now back up a bit so you can see that I've cleared a path. I moved the wall out of the way, which is, like I said, just basically hung on gate hardware. I moved the lathe, some rubber mats, the garbage, and my welder out of the way. And I had to hoist my rotary magnetic vise table out of the hitch receiver, and that leaves a clear shot to the machine. There is one more thing. I keep the vacuum table when the machine is set up as a 3-axis router. I keep that stored underneath the machine along with the quick change plasma head. So I gotta roll this out of the way so that it's gonna make it clear for the machine to go in the middle of the shop. So let me just swing this back around. So now, some of you might look at this and say, well, you've got this big 2-car garage that's pretty empty. Why don't you just utilize some more of that space? Why do you have everything crammed into a 1-car garage? And the reason is that I live in Florida, and today we found out that Tropical Storm Dorian became Hurricane Dorian. So I'll be putting my 2 cars in the garage after I do this work. Now, how do you move this 800-pound or 1,000, I don't even know how much it weighs, machine out of here without breaking your back? Well, since I've already broken my back, I have a little trick. That. See, what I've done is I've taken the motor from a motorized wheelchair, I gutted it and attached it to kind of a torsion spring bar on the bottom of my machine. And so it's pretty simple. But I do have to disconnect the dust collection system, and I do have to disconnect the machine from its controller. So what I've done is I've used an aircraft type quick disconnect, and I can just pull that out. I need 2 hands for this, so I gotta stop the video. So I have to disconnect the dust collection system. I've already loosened that up, and I've got it to where I can just put it out of the way. Now, I kind of came up with something that was cool to store this. I've got a little pipe up there. I can just lay the dust collector in, and again, need 2 hands for this, so I'll stop the video and show you the finished product. Okay, so I've disconnected the dust collection system. You can see how nicely it stores overhead, out of the way, and you can see that's where I also store my plasma torch when it's not in use. Same kind of thing, because I'm going to be changing the head on the machine. So let's show how this works. It's pretty simple. Turn the thing on. I mean, this is probably overkill for most people, but since I just had back surgery, I'm able to move this thing with pretty much 1 finger. So I'm going to just back up and show you the path I'm going to take. Again, I kind of need 2 hands to do this. So I'm going to get the machine out and then show you when I'm done. Okay, well, I got my wife to help me so you guys can see how I actually get this out. It's a little bit of a tight fit, as everything is in the garage, but it's very easy. I just move it with 1 finger, kind of bring it all the way back. Very easy. Like I said, since I had back surgery, I don't have to move this machine. I just drive it right out into the middle of the floor, and I'm good to go. I can do everything I need right here. So the machine is out. I'll walk back through the path here. Now you can see that I've got a pretty clear spot in here. It's a very tight fit. I had to notch my compressor brackets and my work table to fit it. I mean, I literally do not have much room, but it's a very functional space. Like I said, it's soundproof because I'm in a residential neighborhood. So the shop is back to normal now. Everything's in place. Nice and neat. All the equipment's in the soundproof room. Well, almost soundproof. The sliding doors make it leak a little sound, but you can hear the difference. When I open it up. Now the machine is fully set up to plasma cut steel. Got the torch in place, which is stored overhead normally. got the ohmic sensor set up, which is a wireless ohmic sensor that I used this touch-off plate and modified. So that's a wireless touch-off plate, and I use it as a wireless ohmic sensor with a few changes. This way I can never send the current through that wire back to my controller. So anyway, that's it. It's all done, ready to cut, and thanks for checking it out. Hope it helped.